Burma history timeline. Early empires 5000 to 3000 BC. The Lower Paleolithic Eniathian culture flourishes in northern Burma. 3rd century BC. The Mon, immigrants from Central Asia, settled the Sitang Valley, to the east of the Irrawaddy River, establishing Buddhist tradition in Burma. 1st century AD. The Pious arrive in the Irrawaddy Valley, founding their capital at Pai Prom. 9th century AD. Known as the Bamar, the Myanmar people from the China-Tibet border settle in the rice-growing area around Bagan, from where they control trade between China and India. Burmese dynasties. 1084 to 1113. The Golden Age of Bagan under King Kyanzitha, the Great Pagoda Builder. 1287. Fall of the First Burmese Empire following an invasion by the Mongol warlord, Kublai Khan. 1364. The Sh and Bamar dynasty founds a new capital at Inwa, Ava, near present-day Mandalay. 1430. Rakyu, the last capital of independent Arakan, is established upriver from Sittwe in northwest Burma. 1519. The Portuguese gain the first foothold of any European power in the region, founding a trading post at Martaban, in southeast Burma. 1550 to 1581. Bayanong, 3rd king of the Taungoo dynasty, subdues all of the country's rival dynasties and founds the largest empire in the history of Southeast Asia during his 30-year reign. 1599. Enlian falls to Arakan forces led by the Portuguese mercenary, Filipe de Brito y Nicote. 1636. The king of Taungoo, Taban Swede, moves his capital to Ewa, near present-day Mandalay. British, French and Dutch trade develops rapidly. 1767. The Burmese conquer the Thai capital, Ayutthaya. 1784. The Burmese annex Arakan, looting religious relics including the famous Mahamuni statue, and destroying the city's palaces, fortifications, libraries, commerce and industry. Colonial period to World War II. 1824 to 1826. The First Anglo-Burmese War. Under the Treaty of Yandabo, Britain takes possession of the coastal regions of Arakan and Tanintharai, Tenasserim. 1852. In the Second Anglo-Burmese War, Britain annexes all of southern Burma, establishing their capital at Yangon, Rangoon. 1861. King Mindon 1853 to 1878, transfers the Burmese capital to Mandalay. 1885. The British, under General Prendergast, sails up the Irrawaddy River to take Mandalay. King Thibaw and his family are sent into exile in India. All of Burma falls under British control. 1886 to 1895. Insurgency breaks out across the country, but the guerrilla uprising is quashed with brutal force by the British. 1941. The Japanese occupy Burma, forcing the Allies northwest into India. POWs captured after the fall of Singapore are put to work in labor camps, building the infamous Burma Railroad. 1945. The Burma National Army starts an anti-Japanese uprising as the Allies fight their way southeast to retake Burma. 1947. Aung San signs an independence agreement with Attlee, calling the country's first free elections to form a constituent assembly, but is assassinated, along with 6 other members of the interim government. Independence. 1948. Burma formally regains independence and quits the Commonwealth, unleashing civil war and regional rebellions. U Nu becomes prime minister. 1951. U Nu retains power in elections, but cracks start to show in the His party. 1962. Ne Win sweeps to power in near bloodless coup on March 2nd. He appoints a revolutionary council to rule by decree, and implements the economically disastrous Burmese road to socialism. 1964. All political parties are banned and media strictly censored. Foreign businesses are nationalized, along with banks. 1969. Former PM U Nu forms Parliamentary Democracy Party to fight the Revolutionary Council from abroad. 1987. The generals cancel certain currency notes. Only 45 and 90 chop notes remain in circulation because they were divisible by 9, considered by Ne Win as an unlucky number. People's savings are wiped out overnight, causing civil unrest. 1988. Sparked by a deteriorating economy, major demonstrations are staged at Yangon University. On August 8, 1988, hundreds of thousands mount further protests calling for democracy. SLARC takes power. 1988. A military coup places the State Law and Order Restoration Council, SLARC, in power, and a massive crackdown is launched by the military. Aung San Suu Kyi and colleagues form the National League for Democracy, the NLD. 1989. Burma's name is changed by its military government to Myanmar. Some Western powers refuse to recognize the change. 1990 Aung San Suu Kyi placed under house arrest while general elections are held in which the NLD gains 80 seats. 1991 The SLORC refuses to accept the election results. Aung San Suu Kyi is awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. 1992 Burma condemned for serious human rights violations, as tens of thousands of dissidents are imprisoned without trial, removed to forced labor camps or summarily executed. 1993 Burma's biggest ethnic rebel, the Kachin Independence Organization, KIO, signed ceasefire agreement with the Yangon government, ending a 30-year war in the north. 1995 Aung San Suu Kyi is temporarily freed from house arrest, but returned to confinement 5 years later. 2002 Aung San Suu Kyi is released again and allowed to travel to Mandalay. General Ne Win, accused of plotting to overthrow the regime, dies while under house arrest. 2003 70 members of the NLD are murdered by a government-sponsored mob in what would become known as the Depain Massacre. In its wake, Aung San Suu Kyi is placed under house arrest again. This time the incarceration will last for 15 years. 2006 Burma's military junta inaugurate a brand new planned capital called Naypyidaw, City of Kings, 320 kilometers north of Yangon. The Saffron Revolution and beyond. 2007 A hike in the price of fuel led to widespread anti-government protests, which are violently suppressed by the regime. Thousands of monks spearhead a growing campaign of civil resistance, dubbed the Saffron Revolution. 2008 Cyclone Nargis wreaks devastation across the Irrawaddy Delta, killing an estimated 200,000 people. 2009 conflict breaks out in Shan State, when ethnic Chinese, Va and Kachin minorities take up arms against the junta, a rebellion dubbed the Cocking Incident. 2010 As part of a raft of constitutional reforms, national elections are held. They're won by the military-backed Union Solidarity and Development Party, but the NLD condemn the result as fraudulent. Further reforms, designed to force a relaxation of economic sanctions against Burma, see a wind down of press censorship and release of hundreds of political prisoners, among them NLD leader, Aung San Suu Kyi. 2012 Aung San Suu Kyi is one of 44 NLD representatives who enter the Burmese parliament following by-elections.
Civilization in Myanmar. Bagan is an ancient city dating from the 16th century, especially the greatness of more than 5,000 pagodas, being given the name of the city of 4,000 pagodas, which is a characteristic that indicates the prosperity of Buddhism in Myanmar as well. So people generally dub the city of Bagan as the cradle of religion in Myanmar. In the territory of Bagan there is a pagoda with statues of Buddha carved inside. You will find impressive images of the Buddhist way of monks and local people. The Shwedagon Pagoda, Yangon City, is a chiti containing 8 Buddha's relics. There is a legend dating back more than 2,000 years since the time that Yangon was still the land of Mon, formerly known as Kong or Taking. This pagoda is considered the spiritual center of the Buddhists of the Irrawaddy Basin, the most important to date. Comparing Burmese civilization with other countries, Buddhism in Burma is mainly Theravada, with respect to approximately 89% of the population within the country, and is the most Buddhist country in terms of the ratio of monks to population and the proportion of income used in religion. Found respect among Burmese, Chan, Rakhine, Mon, Karen, and Chinese in Burma. Monk is a general worship of Burmese society. Buddhism came to Myanmar when King Ashoka the Great of India sponsored the Third Order in 236 BE. A mission was sent to spread Buddhism in the Suvarnabhumi area countries, including 9 lines. Myanmar is also in the part of Suvarnabhumi, and the Myanmar people still believe that Suvarnabhumi is centered in the city of Saturn Mon Kingdom in southern Myanmar. From history, it can be seen that Buddhism flourished in Myanmar around the 6th century AD because it found evidence of Pali inscriptions and inscriptions about Buddhism. Mahayana is a respected Buddhist sect in northern India, Nepal, China, Japan, Korea, Vietnam, Mongolia, and parts of Russia. The hallmark of this sect is that the idea of practicing as a bodhisattva creates a prestige to help all life in the world go to freedom. Due to the fact that there are so many people in the north, it is also called the Uttarakhand. In present, most Buddhists in the world are Mahayana sects.